Well, hello everyone, my name is Prime and welcome back to this episode of ATS Showcases, and today I am here in the International 9900i and I am doing a heavy haul as promised here in California. I am just outside of Sacramento to be exact, one of the new heavy haul routes as far as I know, down to Oakdale, and we're hauling this big old reservoir here from, I believe this is one of the new winery production plants or something like that, which is very, very cool. But you may have noticed the title of this video and wondering what and how does this relate to what I am doing today? Well, let me just explain a little bit. Now, keep in mind, this adaptive cruise control feature is not really ready yet. Let's just say that there are some few bugs, and there's another part to it, which is emergency braking, which, of course, is optional if you want to do that as well. Keep in mind, you have to be running the 1.44 open beta, and once again, this wasn't even in the changelog for this update. Who knows if it's even going to be in 1.44 itself. The fact that it's deep inside the developer code means that it is definitely a work in progress, but it's very cool that they've kind of snuck it in here for those who know, and huge credit to Toast for being able to find that and put a video on the ETS2 side of things, but I wanted to try it out in here. So how do you enable it, you may ask? Well, go to the developer console if you have it enabled, and you will put in G_ACC, and that will bring up the adaptive cruise control. Obviously, that's what ACC stands for. And then you have the option to put it between 1 and 10. That is the distance when you're following a car, what it will be, really. 1 is close, 10 is far. I guess I should also mention the emergency brake feature, which is acting like an emergency collision, I guess you could say. If the truck feels like you're going to crash into the car ahead, it will jam on the brakes, put the emergency brake on, and put on your hazards. So if you want to do that, go G_, and then start typing in emerge, and then I'm just going to hit tab to bring up, and it will put in the rest of it. And then you want to change that to 1 if you want it true, and then obviously leave it at 0 if you want it off. All right, so I have my cruise control set at a just slightly high speed here of just over 80 miles an hour, and we're going to close up on this station wagon here and see what the adaptive cruise does. See, look at this. Slowing down beautifully, maintaining a gap, and it should maintain this gap. Kind of, maybe, not quite. No, not quite. But you did see what you did see what happened. Yes, I know they're not going to be happy with me. You did see though what happened, and maybe I'll do a replay on screen as I'm describing this. The truck did slow down a decent bit. Now, if I wouldn't have crashed into said station wagon and kept going, it would have actually sped up as well. Now, keep in mind, this is very, very early in the development, and if I would have enabled emergency braking, you would have seen it absolutely slam on the brakes, and well, I wouldn't have crashed into the station wagon. So yeah, I have to say the adaptive cruise control, or at least the tentative adaptive cruise control that is deep in the developer console, is definitely a very interesting thing, along with the emergency braking. Obviously, I didn't use the emergency braking in that little clip there when I was experimenting with it. I probably should have had it on, to be honest, and knowing me, it may be a good thing to have on, but nonetheless, I think it's going to be a good journey here today. We do have the adaptive cruise control on, whether I actually use it or not, who knows, but let's go ahead, jump inside this International 9900i, get her started up. I am just using the stock sounds, of course, because no mods in 1.44, kind of for, well, like any open beta, really. I try not to use mods just to eliminate any possible incompatibility, but this is definitely a first test here of the day for me, trying to get out of this complex, which definitely is not going to be the easiest thing in the world, but knowing my driving standards, and I don't want to cheat. Oh, actually, you know what? SES Software has done a great job. I think they've calculated that quite well, to be honest, with the size of the opening. Hopefully everyone is doing well. I certainly am. Look at this beast rolling around. I always wanted to do a heavy haul here with the International 9900i since it came in, because it is such a beast of a truck, and I am so happy to be doing it now, and on 1.44 open beta to be exact. And as far as I know, if I am correct by the little email I got within ATS, obviously in the save, saying that Sacramento now has heavy hauls. I'm pretty sure they didn't have it before, and considering this is coming from one of the new developed, I guess you could say, prefabs, well, then that's kind of the way it is. I think this is definitely a new one. And when we get onto the highway, because I do believe we have some highway journey here today, I may actually use the adaptive cruise control, because it will then help regulate the speed between what the cop ahead of me is doing and maintaining a good distance, because I do have it set on 10 I probably should have the emergency brake going, but the reason on why I didn't, and I believe Toast said it in his video, and huge credit to Toast, I found that video, which probably a lot of you have already seen, to be honest. I found that video on the ETS2 side, but I wanted to come into ATS and see if it would work. And lo and behold, it did, and I am very, very excited about that feature. Who knows when it's actually going to be releasing? I don't know if it's going to be something that comes out in 1.44 as a full release, or if it's 1.45 or its own little update afterwards. But I do have to say, the reason why I am not using the emergency braking is that it can detect the traffic oncoming. So whether that's we are in a little 2-lane road like this, or even the highway situation, it will sometimes just jam on the brakes, put on the parking brake, or throw on your hazards, and you're pretty much you've lost all your momentum, obviously. It's done its job, but annoyingly, it has, well, in a sense of hauling a load, it has just jammed on the brakes. Oh, there's a car there. I should have looked over a little bit more. Okay, reverse time it is. Just hold on there, follow vehicle, as I snake this thing back a little bit without jackknifing. Classic Prime move, isn't it? Now, I have to say, this blue metallic is quite a lovely blue on this truck. Some of you may like other colors than others, but for those who can remember, when I did the first look with this truck, it was the nice metallic red, and this is actually the stock blue color as well. When it comes to the metallic side, there's a metallic blue and a metallic red. I believe one other that I can't quite remember, maybe not. But nonetheless, this is definitely a beautiful, beautiful color. And besides that, the rest of the truck is, to be honest, completely the same, other than you've got the oversized load stuff and the flags on the top, because why not? But this area of California should not overshadow, because this, again, is all been redone. Now, I am going to open up the map here briefly. Now, when we get down to, I want to say probably parallel line here with Stockton, you can kind of see actually on the map where things start to feather out. You can kind of see this line here of where it's been discovered and where it hasn't, and Stockton is pretty much where it's been cut off there when it comes to the development. So as soon as we get down to about this intersection here, we're going to start seeing basically old California, which is, I guess, good in a sense, because we'll be able to see how much of a difference, besides what we already know, when it comes to the change log here, or I guess changes to the update. And other things are like the stop sign markers that you just saw right back there. Various things that are really, really good, I think, for ATS in general, but really just add a lot of realism. And it's something I look forward to, in all honesty, for the other DLCs and expansions, to see what will happen, all these little details that just make it more lifelike, which is always really nice to see. So hopefully we can just get on more of a constant speed here, because I would love to be able to just throw on the dynamic cruise control. I think it's something that, you know what, I'm gonna be honest, like I've driven vehicles with it in real life, and and a funny thing is that I almost would say that the way SDS software has the adaptive or dynamic, I guess you could say either way, cruise control and the emergency braking is in some cases really realistic, because it will sometimes just either not work. And for me, being in Canada, especially when we start having snow and various other road conditions that aren't so great, let's just say, it will act up, and it just simply won't work. So let's throw on the cruise control and see what happens here. But nonetheless, it is very, very, it's kind of funny, because the way they have it right now, it could actually pass as being quite realistic, because the technology in real life is not perfect. Some companies and some manufacturers are better than others, that's for sure. But nonetheless, I think, how many times are going to say nonetheless? Moving on, I think it is a good feature. I think it's something we can really look forward to. Obviously, it hasn't been officially confirmed, but considering it's in the dev console, it's a pretty safe bet there, my friends. I don't think we really need to complain too much, or it's not really much of a speculation. If it has been found as a code and it is at least somewhat working here in the beta, I think it is really, really cool. It adds a lot, and especially for those who do for those who really like to do a lot of highway driving. That's what I really want to say. Those who really do a lot of highway driving in ATS, whether it's for just more of like a highway roleplay, or you just tend to drive on the highways more than some of these side roads more than others, you know what? I think it is a really cool addition that makes it so much more realistic, especially for the likes of the trucks where you have the new like the Freightliner Cascadia, the International LT even. A lot of those will have dynamic cruise control. Now, I have to say, for showing off the cruise control, this is probably not the most realistic truck to do it in, because, correct me if I'm wrong, the International 9900i, my word, my tongue is twisting today. I'm pretty sure it didn't have dynamic cruise control or adjustable, or yeah, whatever you want to call it. I often call it dynamic cruise control, but you call it what you want. It didn't have it. I'm pretty sure it didn't. At least they stopped manufacturing it, and I'm pretty sure they never introduced it. So yeah, probably not the best in the world to be doing this case, I guess, on the dynamic cruise control. But it's the main premise of the cruise control that I'm trying to get across. It's not the necessary realism that I'm drawing in using adaptive cruise control. The fact using adaptive cruise control, that's the main point I'm getting across. And, well, if you couldn't tell already, considering I referenced Toast's video, who kind of actually explained how to do it, to be honest, I didn't even know about it, and I didn't know how to do it. He did it on ETS too, so it's the same diff either way. Both games, no matter what you have, you will be able to actually at least try it out if you have the dev console enabled. Let me know though if you really want a tutorial on how to do some more with ATS. I know I started the Prime How-To series, and the video's actually done really well, the How-To Convoy, and I've had some other questions, but you know what, I really got to do more. It's something. Oh, and look at this. On the other side of the meeting, the traffic is stopping for the cops when it's too close. Now, that could be another thing with the introduction of this new route. There's just some collision or various things with the new barriers. And by the way, I love the fact that you've got those median barriers there. It's just, yeah, that's amazing. I'm just saying, that is quite amazing. I'm loving that. This whole area, quite beautiful, I have to say. As beautiful as, I guess, a highway and road network and kind of virtual state can get, but it's just incredible, the changes here. This truck is definitely struggling a little bit on that bridge there, but I guess we're not going, this video definitely is not going to be the highest pace. There we go, again, tongue twisting, lovely stuff, trying to make a half decent video for you guys, and good old tongue letting me down, but we're all good. I'm sure it will turn out fine, as long as I don't ramble too much, which is, well, that's why you guys are here, I think. If you guys have stuck around this long, and thank you to everyone who is new here, my word, it is incredible to see the channel growth. I can't believe now that we're approaching what we're well, who knows, by the time you guys see this video, we may already be across the 1.4 thousand people, or 1.4 thousand subscribers. Incredible. We have been climbing so incredibly quickly. I can't thank you guys enough. It is truly incredible to see the support here on the channel, the continued support, and you guys seem to be loving these showcases, the Prime News, whatever I seem to put out. You guys seem to love it, and that just puts a big smile on my face, because it means that I have a ton of people out there who love the same things as I do, and honestly, that's the biggest point. I don't really care necessarily about everything else. Obviously, you know what, numbers are YouTube numbers. I'm not gonna lie about the situation there. And side note, what is this? Is it? Oh, it's probably part of a toll road. Oh, maybe for the bridge on the other side. Is it just a one direction toll road, or how does that work? Oh, the bridge. The bridge. I guess, yeah, I guess, is this the Oakland? This isn't Oakland Bridge. This is not. I just completely butchered that. Forget I said anything. This, I think, is the Oakland Bridge. Well, because it's right by Oakland. I'm going to just keep driving. Also, just on my excellent showcase of my geography knowledge of this area, we got a lane change maneuver coming up here. So, is that because, which way are we going here? Okay, I can get over now. Beautiful stuff. Now what's the cop doing? Come on, you can come over. I'm giving you plenty of room. My truck behind me already gave me space. You can do it, cop. Gonna wait till the very last moment, and I have to stop. Oh, yeah. Lovely stuff. Again, people, this is in beta. Brand new routes, as far as I am aware. Oh, even that little detail there. The flashing light. Don't crash into me. Well, that... You know what? Oh, man, we are up high. Don't look down if you have vertigo. Even though I'm not giving you a chance because I'm on the exterior camera, but... Hey-ho. Anyways, where was I talking about? Oh, yeah, geography. Thank you guys so much for actually correcting me on my first look of the 1.44 beta here when I was talking about where in the world was Napa Valley. I think I'm actually kind of starting to get closer to Napa Valley. It's either that or it's down here. I'm going to be honest, I still didn't look it up. I really got to do that. Probably when you guys are watching this, I will have looked it up. I'll probably do that actually right after recording this video, to be honest, because if not, I'm going to keep making myself look like a fool. But nonetheless, thank you guys so much for correcting me on multiple things when it came to the geography and various rules or whatever. You guys were great. I asked for it, of course, and I always love to learn those new things because I don't know everything and I'm not American. And I've never been to California. Even though a lot of people would think that those things are common, well, not everyone knows that. So, you know what? I'm one of them. I'm not perfect in that area. I've learned a lot, definitely. It's because of, well, especially here on doing YouTube videos for both ETS2 and ATS, especially primarily. That's what I started the channel really on. And yeah, it's... I've learned a lot about the area, about especially the southern states and stuff, because that's the stuff I spent a lot of time in until recently, I guess. And that's just one of them that I've never, unfortunately, really, I guess, heard about much, or just learned really specifically where it is. People always just call it, oh, you're around Napa Valley. Well, where's actually Napa Valley when it comes to bigger cities? Something that non-American or just a good old Canadian may be able to actually tell where it is, because I'm gonna be honest, I've never been really into the big California everything before all this I guess YouTube, I guess, or just before really getting ATS. Never really was, I guess, big into California. And well, yeah, that's about that, to be honest. I just didn't know. So with all my rambling aside, thank you for correcting me, and you're probably gonna have to do it a lot more throughout all this. But look at, okay, we're gonna move past my geography because it's just hopeless. Is it me, or did we hit a pretty big change? Has this also been revamped? I think it has, because this looks really lush and green for being old ATS. Where did they actually cut off? It's got to be around here, because was San Francisco... It wasn't done yet. That, I think, is phase 3. I thought it was basically this belt in here that was done. Redding, Truckee, Sacramento, Ukiah, Eureka, all that stuff was done. I don't think this area was done, but it just... Maybe they blended it. That could be what happened. SES Software may have done... Yeah, we're definitely getting back into the older style of stuff here, I think. It seems like they may have just blended a little bit with some vegetation and at that intersection, and that's where it kind of cut off between the old and the new, because this is starting to look a little bit more like... I don't know, it's kind of hard saying that this is a new special transport route, so they could have... There was going to be changes anyways to the route itself, so there is a good chance that they kind of fixed it in a sense too. You know what? Correct me on that too. If you know, if not, well, I guess we're lost together, which... Don't know if that's, again, good or bad, but we're going with it. So let's swing around here. And we gotta be I think we're getting close now. We're rolling up soon. You know, that was a beautiful corner, I have to say. Beautiful corner indeed. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I really wanted to do this video with the engine mod for this 9900i. It's all credit to the bass sounds. There's just something about the there's just something about that mod that really brings this engine to life. I'm not gonna lie, it's just a very good mod. It's as simple as that. Great mod. I highly recommend it. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, check out the International 9900i engine mod video I did, I guess a few weeks back now. Check that out if you're interested. If not, well, you're staying with me. I'd hopefully you'd finish off this video with me, even though I'm not gonna lie, it's been a little bit longer because of the slow pace of this journey. But besides basically cutting off a car when it comes to trying to go around the corner and having the reverse and all that good old stuff that you noticed early on in the video, I think it's been actually a pretty smooth journey, and it's taken long enough that we're now into the evening. And just look at that right there. That is a unit. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff indeed. Now, I could be using the cruise control more, but to be honest, I couldn't really be bothered right now with the heavy hauls. I think on a longer highway journey, I would use that a lot more. But for something like this with the heavy haul, where the lead car here it definitely has a mind of its own, and sometimes it's just plain annoying. So I'm just driving normally. It's not like it's pretty easy to maintain speed anyways, and if the cop is going to do anything, it's going to slow down real quick. So I got to put on the brakes anyways, because I don't have the emergency braking on, because as I said, it's a little finicky right now. That's definitely what I found in the testing, and it seems like toast, I believe, and a few people actually in the comments of the video as well said as well, it can act up a bit. So it's not just a me problem, it's probably a you problem as well if you give it a try. But again, it's actually pretty realistic because it acts up in real life as well. Nothing's perfect, folks. Nothing is perfect. You know what? 1.44 is definitely shaping up to be an amazing update. We thought that, was it 1.41 or 1.40 when the lighting revamp came in? I can't even remember now. That there's so many. You know what? I am a big fan of the updates. Now, I do know that there are quite a few people who maybe get a little annoyed at the fact that the mods, especially for a major update like 1.44, they're going to have to be updated, and not all of them will be updated quickly. Now, I guess I'm talking from a perspective where I really only use select mods for very specific videos, and there are really only a few mods that I'm actually showcasing at once. Really, the biggest combination is if I have sound mods with a skin or a truck, something like that. But overall, it's really isolated, I guess, when it comes to game mechanic and various things. And it's definitely, all my mods are free. That's kind of how I roll, at least right now. And so I don't really have that big issue, I guess you could say, with just basically dropping the mods and going back to stock ATS, because I'm used to constantly flipping mods back and forth. But I completely respect and understand the counter argument where we have people who love to play with mods, because I mean, I love playing with mods, but love playing with mods that definitely have a more severe impact on their, whether it's roleplay experience or just the driving experience in the game itself, and they're maybe not free, or they may not be updated very quickly, but they'd love to use them. And then a major update rolls out, or a few updates roll out, for example, between 1.43, 1.44, even 1.42 and 1.41. It's not like we've had a major gap between them. Although the content is amazing, and I'm sure a lot of you love the content that is coming out with these free updates, of course. There's just, I'm sure there are people that just simply are getting a little frustrated with the constant updates. I mean, there's two valid points. In all honesty, there is no wrong answer. It's something that everyone's going to have their opinion on this sort of thing. Everyone's going to feel whether they're being. Let's just let the cop get out of the way. Beautiful stuff. Is it going to feel, the SES software should do this, or SES software should do that. Keep bringing the updates. Just slow them down a little bit. You know what? There's two great arguments there. Personally, I'm on the side, the more content, the more free content, the better. The mods for me is something that can be pushed around. I know for those, especially who pay for them, it's not the same thing. But would you look at that? We made it in one piece before supper time, I think. Well, actually, what time is it in game? That is a good thing to actually notice. You know what? 7 p.m. It's a little later. I like to eat supper earlier than in real life than 7, but... Or actually, we're near 8. Definitely later. That's a late evening trip. But that was an amazing journey. What a delivery. What a cool feature, a hidden feature, really, that I found. Once again, huge credit to Toast for finding that. I don't know if he found it or if they found it on their own, or if it's a something that they found through someone else. You know what? Big credit to them. What a lovely truck, once again. Putting it to good use, hauling this big old load of a reservoir. That's what it was. I just completely lost the word there. But nonetheless, thank you all so much for watching. Another great, or it's a lovely update here, 1.44 beta. Highly recommend it if you haven't opted into it yet. Or you may want to wait till 1.44 officially releases. You never know. Hopefully it comes out earlier than later. But you know what? I definitely give it a try if you're willing to drop mod compatibility and or drop mods and just go back to stock ATS for a little bit in time to try out the multiple new features and multiple great areas on the map. So once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.